Today we are going to explain Crayon Shinchan, the movie, super hot, the spicy Kasukabe Dancers. Now sit back, because this story is not just about Shinchan being silly. It's about a wild adventure that starts in the most ordinary way possible, right at home in Kasukabe. The movie begins with a sunny morning in Kasukabe. Birds are chirping outside, the cicadas are buzzing faintly, and the sleepy, stubborn houses are slowly waking up. We see Nohora family home, painted in its familiar warm color. Inside the scene is very typical. Hiroshi, Shinchan's dad, is sitting with his tie half done, reading the newspaper, muttering about how stressful work is. He flips a page and grumbles. Ah, the economy is terrible, and my boss is even worse. In the kitchen, Misai, Shinchan's mom, is juggling breakfast like a superhero. She's frying eggs with one hand, flipping toast with the other, and yelling, Shinchan, wake up! Are you well? We're late for school again. She looks tired but determined, the everyday hero of the family. Suddenly, the screen shakes with the sound of loud footsteps. Enter Shinchan, still in his pajamas, hair sticking out like a bird's nest. He marches down the hallway humming his favorite nonsense song. Without warning, he bursts into the dining room and announces, Ladies and gentlemen, the star has arrived. Please clap for the amazing dancer. Me! He spins once, stumbles, and falls, face first into the floor. Hiroshi sighs. Why can't have normal son? He mutters, hiding behind the newspaper. Misai shouts, Shinchan, at least wash your face first. But Shinchan has already spotted his breakfast and starts eating it with both the hands, spilling rice everywhere. The dog Zero comes trotting in and begins licking up the mess, wagging his tail. The little chaotic breakfast scene already shows us that the movies will be full of family humor, small fights, and Shinchan's unstoppable mischief. After breakfast, Misai drags Shinchan into his school uniform while he wiggles and complains. Mom, this is torture. Real dancers don't wear boring shirts. She smacks him lightly on the head and says, Stop acting and hurry up. Cut to the schoolyard. The Kasukabe Defense Force, Shinchan's gang of friends, is gathered. Kazama, the serious honor student, Nini, the bossy lady, who loves playing pretend house, Masao, the timid crybaby, and Buchan, the mysterious slow talker with a runny nose. They greet each other in their usual way, but Shinchan immediately ruins the serious tone by shouting, Attention everyone! From today onwards, we are not students. We are super spicy dancers. He begins wiggling his butt in front of the whole class. Kajama screams, Stop embarrassing us. You are giving me a headache. But the teachers just sigh, already used to Shinchan's antics. The class laughs, setting the light-hearted tone. Then the camera zooms out slowly, showing us Koskobe town in all its normalcy. The streets, the shops, the kids playing. But in distance, something usual is viewing. Posters are being put up in the marketplace. Bright color posters showing silhouettes of dancers, fireworks, and a giant stage. The posters announce an upcoming event, the International Dance Festival, coming soon. Auditions are open. As kids crowd around the posters, rumors begins. Did you hear? Teams from all over the world will come to Japan to compete. The winners might even perform internationally. The energy in town shifts slightly, but for now, Shinchan is too busy pulling faces to notice. The seeds of adventure have been planted, but the Nohara family has no idea yet how much this dance festival will turn their lives upside down. The very next day begins as normally as if we are ever in Kasukabe, but there is a faint buzz in the air. Outside the Nohara home, the streets are a little busier than usual. Delivery trucks come and go, bringing strange equipments and props to the nearby park. The camera follows a group of workers unloading huge boxes covered with labels. Stage lights, costumes, and sound systems. Nobody in town fully understands what's happening yet, but whispers spreads quickly. Is this all for that dance festival? Back at Nora family, Misai is cleaning the living room. She is bent over, muttering about how Sinchan leaves socks everywhere, as usual. At the same time, Hiroshi is trying to nap on the sofa, but Sinchan keeps poking his nose and saying, Dad, dance with me. You'll be the papa dancer. I'll be the butt shaking dancer. Hiroshi tries to ignore him, but Shinchan won't stop. Finally, Hiroshi stands up, pretending to be annoyed. But then he does one funny little hissek. Shinchan laughs so hard he falls off the sofa. Suddenly, the TV flickers on with a big announcement. The International Dance Festival will officially be held in Kasukabe. The host on TV explains that dancers from different countries will come together, showing unique cultural styles, and the town is chosen at the stage as a stage. The Nohras blink in disbelief. Hiroshi scratches his head. Why is Kasukabe of all places? This sleepy little town. Misai just shrugs. But Shinchan jumps up and yells, Yes, my time has come. The world needs my dancing hips. Later at school, Shinchan tells his friends the news. The Koskube Defense Force gathers at their usual meeting place near the playground. Kazama adjusts his glasses nervously, saying, Do you all even realize what this means? International professionals are coming. We cannot just embarrass ourselves. Mimi immediately declares, This is our chance to shine. We'll perform a team and win. Masao gulps, clearly scared. But what if they laugh at us? Buchan, in his usual slow and mysterious voice, simply says, Dancing is freedom. Shinchan, of course, Dog's command. He starts demonstrating ridiculous dance moves, shaking his butt, wiggling his eyebrows, even lying flat on the ground like a worm. The others are half impressed, half horrified. Still, they decide to give it a try. Meanwhile, more foreign teams begin to arrive in town. The movie shows small introductions, a glamorous salsa team from South America with colorful costumes, a sharp hip hop crew from America, and a graceful traditional dance from India wearing elegant outfits. Each group has its own personality, and they are showing briefly chatting, practicing, or even showing up in the streets. Townspeople gather, amazed by the diversity. Old shopkeeper gossip. Look at those costumes, so bright. Kids cheer in excitement. Even Zero, Shinchan's dog, barks happily at the lively atmosphere. That night, at the Nohra family eats dinner, the conversation turns serious. Hiroshi says, maybe we should watch the festival as spectators. It's a once time, lifetime event. But Shinchan slams his chopstick on the table dramatically. No way. I, Shinchan, will not just watch. I'll conquer the stage, make the world laugh. Oof, I mean clap. Missai scolds him for playing with food, but she secretly smiles, amused by his passion. Before the day ends, there is a mysterious moment. A poster in the street glows faintly under the moonlight, showing the festival's theme written in bold letters. Only the spiciest dance wins. The camera zooms in on the word spiciest, hinting at the chaos and fiery challenge ahead. And just like that, Kasukabe has unknowingly become the center of a global dance showdown. And Shinchan is ready to dance his way into trouble. The day of the grand festival finally arrives, and the Kasukabe looks completely transformed. What used to be an ordinary, quiet little town now feels like a stage straight out of a dream. Huge banners with fiery designs hang across the streets. Stalls selling food like sidewalks, filling the air with the smell of fried noodles, grilled skewers, and of course, curry that makes people eyes water from the spice. Bright stage lights are being tested, making beams of red, yellow, and orange glow against the morning sky. The Nohra family steps out of their house together. Hiroshi looks around in amazement, his jaw dropped slightly. Wow, this doesn't even feel like our Costco anymore. Misai holding Himari nods but also warns. Don't let Shinchan wander. He will cause trouble before we even reach the stage. And of course, the moment she says it, Shinchan is already running ahead, shaking his hips and yelling, the stage calls me. The spicy spotlight is mine. At the festival grounds, crowds gather in excitement. People from different countries are mingling, talking in various languages, showing each other small dance moves. like friendly warm up. The organizers welcome everyone with a grand speech. This festival is about fashion, about spice, and about the fire that only true dance can bring. Tonight, we find out whose spirit burns the brightest. The audience cheers and drums beat out loudly, sending shivers of excitement across the crowd. Shinchan and his friends arrive, each looking nervous but trying to act cool. Kazama carries a notebook filled with dance strategies, even though it looks like random scrabbles. Mimi is in her element, already imagining herself in the spotlight. Masao is so nervous his knees knock together. Wuchan just stares into the distance as if he is already meditating on some deep dance philosophy. Sinchan, meanwhile, does not care about nerves. He's too busy showing up to random strangers asking, "Want to see my bird dance?" Soon the performance begins. The first team to hit the stage is the salsa dancer from South America. They move with incredible energy, spinning, twirling, and stamping their feet in rhythm to fast, upbeat music. The crowd gasps and claps in awe. Sinchan's group watches nervously from the side. We we cannot even compete with that, Kajuma mutters. But Sinchan just shrugs and says, "Easy. We just add more hip shaking." Next, the America hip hop crew performs. They wear matching outfits with shiny jackets and hats tilted just right. Freezes and synchronized moves that make everyone scream in excitement. Mimi watches them with tears in her eyes. They look so cool. Masao looks like he's about to faint. Then comes the Indian traditional group. The music changes into something rich, rhythmic, full of tables, tablas, and sitars. The dancers wear beautiful outfits with golden embroidery, moving gracefully yet powerfully. Each gesture of their hands tells a story. The audience goes quiet, mesmerized by the elegance. Misai whispers, "That's so beautiful." And even Hiroshi nods, impressed. By the time it's almost Shinchan's group's turn, everyone is sweating nervously except Shinchan. He is backstage, humming, eating snacks, and wiggling his hips like nothing matters. His friends look at him in disbelief. "Aren't you scared?" Kazuma asks. Shinchan grinds and says, "Scared? No way. The world has been waiting for my ultimate move." He dramatically points at his bottom. But the announcer finally calls their name. The Kasukabe Defense Force. The crowd claps politely, not expecting too much. After all, they are just kids. But Shinchan marches onto the stage with full confidence. His friends shuffle behind him nervously. The music starts. At first, Kajaman, Nini, Masawa, and Buchan try to follow the simple steps they practiced. It looks clumsy, but at least they are trying. Then suddenly Sinchan takes over. He spins, drops to the floor, and starts his ridiculous but surprisingly energetic butt-shaking dance. The audience burst into laughter, clapping along. Some even cheer loudly. Kazama groans in embarrassment, but the other realize the crowd actually loves it. Slowly they join, mixing their own step with Shinchan's silly style. Masao spins in circles until he gets dizzy. Nini tries to add elegant moves but end up copying Shinchan's anyway. Buchan moves in slowly motions, confusing the audience but making them laugh harder. By the end of their performance, crowd is roaring with laughter and applause. The judges looks both confused and entertained. The announcer smiling awkwardly. The class. Well, that was certainly the spiciest performance so far. As the kids walk upstairs, they are filled with mixed emotions. Kazama covers his face in shame. Mimi is frustrated that she couldn't sew up properly. Masao is just glad it's over. Buchan does not react too much, but Sinchan beams with pride, saying, "See, told you, the wall loves my hips." The festival continues into the night, but whispers begin among the audience. Did you see those kids? That one boy, the strange dance, it was hilarious. Unknowingly, Sinchan had said something in motion. The festival continues after Sinchan and his friends' hilarious debut, and energy in Kasukabe keeps getting more electric with every performance. The sky has turned dark, but the streets glow with color lights red, orange, and gold, almost as if the whole town has been set on fire by the spirit of dance. The air smells of food, perfume, and sweat from the crowd moving and clapping along the music. Shinchan and his friends walk backstage, still catching their breath. Masao is wobbling as if he might faint any second. "I thought I was going to die out there," he mutters. Kajama scolds him. "You almost ruined our timing." Nini jumps in. No, Kajama, you ruined it more than him. You were too stiff." The three of them start bickering, the all like always, while Buchan just stares blankly at the ground. Sinchan, however, ignores them completely. He is busy collecting free snacks from the food stall nearby, acting like he's just returned from a vacation instead of live from a vacation live performance. Spicy dumplings, perfect for recharging my dance well, he says while chewing with his mouth wide open. As the next team takes the stage, something strange begins to happen. A group dressed entirely in red and black enters. Their faces are covered with masks decorated with flames. Their leaders steps forward, and the music that starts playing is unlike anything heard before. Deep drums, fast beats, and a strange echoing chant. The masked group begins their performance, and the crowd goes silent. Their movements are sharp, almost too sharp, like a military drill mixed with dance. The rhythm of their stomps feels like thunder, shaking the ground. They spin, jump, and strike poses in perfect synchronization, not a single mistake. The air around them seems hotter, and even people in the audience fan themselves as if the temperature has actually risen. Hiroshi whispers, "These dancers, they do not look normal." Misai nods uneasily. It's almost scary. Himawari, Himawari, on the other hand, laughs happily, enjoying the flashy moves. Backstage, Shinchan and his friends feels the difference too. Nini's eyes widen. This this is not just dancing. It feels like they're trying to control the crowd. Kojima swallows nervously. I read about this. It's called hypotonic choreography. If used with the right rhythm, it can actually influence emotions. Masao screams, "We are doomed," and hides behind Wuchan. The performance ends with masked dancers striking a final pose where they raise their hands like flames, and at that very moment, real fire bursts out from hidden pyrotechnics on the stage. The audience erupts into cheers, some people even chanting along the masked group's name. Spicy, spicy, spicy. The announcer, looking more serious than before, says, "Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the mysterious team known only as Spicy Dancers." But instead of being humble, the leader of the masked dancers points at Shinchan's group backstage. His masked face tilts ever so slightly, and then he makes a gesture, a finger across his hip, as if to say, "Be silent, or else the kids freeze in place." Who, what was that about? Masao is first. In the girls, Kajama adjusts his glasses nervously. His voice trembles. "I think they see us as a threat." Shinchan, however, does not look scared at all. Instead, he puffs his chest proudly and says, "Finally, a rival worthy of my word dance." His friends groan in despair. Later that evening, the festival organizers announced that tomorrow will be the second round of performance. This time, it won't just be about impressing the crowd, it will be about surviving the heat of the spicy challenge. A mysterious round nobody has explained yet. The kids return home with their families. On the way back, Koskova looks different. Shadows seem longer, the night feels heavier, and whispers about the spicy dancers spread among the townsfolk. Where did they come from? Did you see their leader's eyes? They were glowing red. Is it really just dance or something darker? That night, as Sinchan lies in wait, he dreams of fire surrounding Koskova. Spicy dancers stands in the middle, chanting and dancing while the town burns around them. Sinchan, surprisingly serious in his dream, steps forward and declares, "If it's a dance battle you want, I'll protect Koskeo with my spicy heats." When he wakes up the next morning, he's sweaty but smiling. This is it. The world needs me. The next morning in Kasukabe is anything but peaceful. Posters announcing the second round, the spicy challenge, are plastered across the town. They are bright red with golden flames painted around the edges. In big bold letters, it says, "Only the strongest dancers will survive the heat. The true meaning of spice will be revealed." Children and adults alike gather around the posters, whispering with both excitement and nervousness. "What does it mean by survive?" one person asks. It is a cooking contest or real fire. Another wonders. Nobody knows for sure, but everyone is watching with curiosity. Meanwhile, inside the Nohra house, chaos has already begun. Misai is running around with her usual morning madness, shouting at Hiroshi for not waking up properly. Hiroshi snores lazily on the tatami mat, muttering about wanting another 5 minutes. Himari crawls towards the mirror, trying to grab Mrs. Lipstick again, and Shinchan is standing in the middle of the living room, wearing nothing but his underwear, practicing his signature hip wave. He wiggles dramatically and shouts, "I'm the savior of Kasukabe, the ultimate spicy hero." Hiroshi opens one eye, groans, and mutters, more like the ultimate embarrassment. Soon Shinchan meets his friend at their usual park. Kazama is packing back and forth with a notebook in hand. According to my calculation, he says seriously, the spicy dancers' moves aren't normal. They could be using something scientific or even supernatural to boost their power. We need a strategy. Nini folding her arms adds, and we need to practice properly. We cannot rely on Sinchan's silly bird dance forever. Masao, nearly crying already, squeaks, I don't have want to be here. I'm too weak for this challenge. Uchan, in his calm, slow voice, says only one word. Chili. Everyone stares at him in confusion. Before they can argue more, loud drums echo from the town square. The second round is about to begin. The kids rush over, and the entire plaza is packed with cheering citizens. The stage is bigger than yesterday. Giant flame-shaped decorations surround it, and a longer banner reads "Round 2" fills the burn. To everyone's shock, huge pots of spicy food, curries, noodles, soups are placed around the stage. Their steams carrying an intense chili aroma. The smell alone makes people cough and sneeze. An announcer stares forward with a dramatic voice. Ladies and gentlemen, today our dancers will not only perform, they will do so while facing the heat of true spice. The hotter the food, the stronger the dance must be. Only those who endure both flames of chili and flames of rhythm will move to the next round. The crowd roars with excitement. Sinchan's group gasps. What? We have to eat that while dancing? Masao reeks. Kajima adjusts his glasses nervously. This is scientifically dangerous. But Sinchan, with stars in his eyes, yells, "Bring it on! My stomach is bottomless pit of courage and curry." The first team takes the stage. They eat a huge spoonful of chili ramen. Their faces turn red, steam shoots out of their ears, and they immediately begin their dance routine. At first, they do well, but through, one dancer collapses dramatically, waving a white flag. The crowd laughs but also cheers at their bravery. Next up, Another team manages to push through. Their movements, fears, and first, but even they stagger off stage, tongues sticking out, begging for water. The challenge is not a joke anymore. Finally, the announcer calls, and now, from Kasukabe itself, Shinchan and friends. The kids stay forward nervously. The crowd cheers louder than ever, remembering Shinchan's hilarious performance yesterday. Mise Hiroshi Himawari waved from the front row. Himawari, drooling at the spicy pots, tries to crawl onto the stage, but Hiroshi grabs her just in time. The kids sit before their assigned balls. Rinchan grins and takes a giant spoon of curry, slurring it noisily, his eyes watery. His face goes red, but instead of panicking, he shouts, "Whoa! It's like a firework inside my mouth." Then he jumps up and starts shaking his head wildly. The audience bursts into laughter. Masao hesitates, then takes a tiny bite and immediately screams, running in circles while tears floods his eyes. Nini tries to maintain composure elegantly, eating and dancing, but she accidentally hiccups flames like a cartoon dragon. Kazama forces himself to take precise bites, chanting mind over matter, mind over matter. While sweating buckets, Buchan calmly eats the whole bowl in silence, then starts dancing in slow motion, unaffected. The crowd is shocked. How is that kid not burning up? Their chaotic dance somehow syncs together. Shinchan's silly moves, Nini's dramatic approaches, Kazama's stiff footwork, Masao's panicked running, and Buchan's lazy sways create a strange but unique harmony. The audience claps along, enjoying every second. But in this shadow, the spicy dancers watch quietly. The leader tilts his masked head again and whispers, "Interesting. They survived the spice. But will they survive the fire?" The round ends with Shinchan and his friends collapsing onto the stage floor, exhausted, faces red but smiling. The announcer declares, "Unbelievable. Against all odds, the Kasukabe gates have cleared the spice challenge." Crowd explodes in cheer. For now, they have passed, but a storm in brewing is brewing. Morning after that terrifying night, Cosqueville looks peaceful again. Birds are chirping, the sun shines, and Hiroshi stretches on the veranda with his morning newspaper. He sighs in relief, thinking, finally, a quiet day. But as always, in the Nora family, peace does not last. Inside the house, Shinchan is energetically dancing in front of the TV. The morning kids shows plays cheerful music, but Shinchan turns it into his own version of spicy word dance. Himari laughs happily, while truly Missy, however, is chasing him around with a slipper. "Stop shaking your butt so early in the morning." Meanwhile, Kojima arrives at Shinchan's house with bags under his eyes. He has not slept all night, scribbling notes about the spicy dance's fiery powers. Shinchan, this is serious? He shouts at Shinchan Wiggles. They are not normal. If we do not figure this out, Koskove could be in danger. Shinchan just replies, danger? Danger of what? Running out of pudding? At school, the five heroes of Koskove gather. Nini, holding her stuffed bunny, insists they must tell the teacher. Masao trembles, already sweating. Wuchan just says in his slow, dreamy way, the fire was alive. The other girls. But before they can decide, something shocking happens. A group of drummers appear at school gate. Behind them is bright costume. Stand these spicy dancers in broad daylight. Students crowd around, whispering excitedly. Wow, it's them. They are so cool. The leader of the spicy dancers steps forward. His mask gleams under the sun. He points directly at Shinchan and his friends. His voice is calm, yet booming. You five, you have seen too much. Now prove yourself. If you can defeat us in the Grand Koskore Festival dance-off, we will leave. If you lose, the flames of Koskore will be ours. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Teachers try to protest, but the dancers played their drums, and the sound alone silenced everyone. The air feels hotter, almost burning. Shinchan, instead of being scared, strikes a goofy pose. Dance off sounds spicy, but only if Mama makes a snack afterwards. We say watching from a distance. Faints on the spot. Kazama tries to reason. Wait, why target us? We're just kids. But the leader replies, because you carry the spirit of Koskoke. We have seen your courage. If you can dance with the fire in your heart, perhaps you are worthy opponents. Crowd cheers wildly. Suddenly, what seemed like a secret fight turns into a town-wide event. Posters pop up everywhere. Koskove versus kids. The spicy dancers. The ultimate showdown at the festival. That night, the kids gather in Shinchan's room to prepare. Masao sobs. We are doomed. I cannot even clap in rhythm. Nini forces him to practice with her toy bunny as a partner. Wuchan simply says, step, flame, fall, leaving everyone confused. Kazuma paces nervously. We need to training, real training. If we lose, Koskebe will be taken over. Those flames, they were not just for show. They could burn everything. Shinchan, lying on his foot, suddenly sat up with determination. They will dance hotter than them. We'll dance with our spicy spirit. His eyes sparkle for once. The friends stare at him for a brief moment. Even Kajama believes Shinchan might be serious. But then Shinchan adds, also I took great in tight pants. I look great in tight pants. and the moment is ruined. Still, the mood shifts. For the first time, they realize this is not just the game, the fate of their town, the fate of their town, their families, and their every silly life might depend on how they move on that stage. The screen fades with dramatic festival drums echoing in the distance. The true battle is about to begin. The night before their big challenge, the Kasukabe kids gather secretly in Shinchan's room. Posters about the ultimate dance showdown are everywhere in town. The excitement is building for the kids, though it feels like you are done. Kazuma faces back on floor, holding a notebook filled with messy dance sketches. We need coordination, rhythm, timing, everything. If we do not train, we'll embarrass ourselves in front of the entire town, and the spicy dancer will take over Koskovo. Nini tightens the bow on her bunny. Dolls, we're not losing. I'll practice until my legs fall off. We'll show them what Koskovo spirit really means. Masao sits in the corner, trembling. I cannot even tie my shoelace, right? How can I dance? I'll ruin everything. Tears stream down his cheek. Wuchan, as always, speaks slowly. The dance is not just steps, it's the fire inside. Nobody understands, but his mysterious tone adds dramatically weight. And then there is Shinchan. While everyone stresses, he stands in front of a mirror in his underwear, doing his butt wiggle dance. Misai, who barges into the room to bring snack, screams, "Stop wasting time, Shinchan. This is serious." But Hiroshi pats her shoulder and says, "Maybe that silly dance in his way of warming up." The next day, the kids officially start training. Where? Not in a dance studio, but, but at the schoolyard, the park, even Hiroshi messy living room. They try to dance together at the park. Kazuma yells, "Left foot, right foot, spin." Shinchan deliberately spins the opposite way, colliding with Masao, who falls flat on his face. Mimi gets angry, stomping her feet, yelling, "You ruined the rhythm." Buchan continues moving slowly, completely offbeat. After 5 minutes, they are all piled in the dirt. Kojima screams into the sky, "We are doomed." Missy decides to step in. She brings a whistle and transforms into a drill instructor. "All right, maggots, if you cannot dance, you'll run laps until you collapse." Kids line up nervously. Shinchan, however, enjoys teasing her. Every time she blows the whistle, he wiggles his butt and cracks a joke, making everyone laugh instead of train. Mrs. Forehead veins bulge. That night, while everyone is exhausted, Wuchan finally explains what he meant earlier. Sitting under the stars, he says the spicy dancer, their friends, were alive, not from dance steps, but from their hearts. If we want to win, we do not just copy moves. We must dance with our feelings. Everyone falls silent. Even Shinchan stops joking for a second. That strange but deep line gives him a little hope. The next day, something unexpected happens. News spreads that the spicy dances originally come from India, where festivals like Holi and Diwali inspired their heroes to prepare properly. The kids watch Indian dance videos on they see colorful costumes, strong footwork, and how dances spreads stories in every move. Shinchan surprisingly inspired and says, "Wow, they say their works better than me. I must learn." Everyone laughs, but secretly they feel motivated. Soon the entire Kasukabe neighborhood joins to support the kids. Hiroshi helps by making strong snacks to keep them energized. Mise forces Shinchan to practice balance by holding groceries while dancing. When the teachers from school shows up with a tambourine shouting for Kasukabe, kids, parents, and neighbors cheer as the five heroes of course, we stumble, fall, argue, and slowly, very slowly, start to improve. By the end of this long training montage, something changes. Masao, though still nervous, manages to keep rhythmic without tripling. Mimi adds flair with sharp hand movements. Kazama in strictness pays off in smoother coordination. Bhushan adds slowly but powerful steps. And Sinchan, well, Sinchan invents ridiculous moves, but somehow that makes the whole group unique. The camera zooms out as drums echo in the background. The festival is only days away. The Koskobe kids might still be clumsy, but for the first time, they feel like they actually have a chance. And Sinchan declares proudly, "Tomorrow we will pick up Koskobe." The skin fades to black with upbeat festival music starting to play. The story moves into a bright and color morning in India. A festival that everyone has been waiting for finally begins. The streets are decorated with endless strings of marigold flowers, bright rangoli patterns painted on the ground, and huge banner with shiny golden letters welcome the dancers from all over the world. Traditional Indian drums called dhols start beating loudly, sending vibrations through the air. The sound of flutes, sitar, and tabla mix together, creating a magical atmosphere that makes even Sinchan stand still for a moment in awe. At the Koskave, Grove walks into the main arena. Sinchan's eyes widen at the sight of elephants painted with colorful designs, camel wearing veils, and dancers are dressed in sparkling costumes that shine under the sun. Misai tries to control him, but Sinchan immediately starts dancing in his still silly style, shaking his hips and shouting, "Ole Ole India," which makes the local people laugh. And Hiroshi wipes sweat from his forehead and mutters about how hot and spicy everything feels here. The stage itself is enormous, decorated like a royal palace, with shining villas and red carpets stretching across, and beautiful, colorful flowers. marigolds, roses, lotus. The announcers welcomes everyone in both Hindi and English, saying that this festival is not just about dance, but about celebrating unity, diversity, and culture, tradition, music, talent, dance. The Kasukabe kids feels small seeing so many talented international teams. Some groups are dressed like Bollywood dancers, others in traditional Kathak, Bharatnatyam, and even Bhangra style. Now, while everyone is enjoying, Buchan is acting strangely quiet. He doesn't laugh at Sinchan's joke. He doesn't clap like Masao. And he does not look nervous like Nini or Kajama. Instead, his eyes are locked on the rival Indian dance group, the Spicy Dancers. His expression is unreadable, almost too serious for usual sleepy, innocent self. At one point, Shinchan tries to feed him a samosa from the food stall, but Buchan simply shakes his head, whispering, "Not now." This makes Kajama raise an eyebrow, noticing that Buchan is behaving unusually strange. The camera then shows a close up of Buchan's hand, holding a small folded paper. He keeps it hidden in his pocket. The audience does not know what's written on it yet, but the way he keeps glancing at the spicy dancers hints that maybe he knows something about them. Meanwhile, Shinchan being Shinchan runs towards the food stalls, stuffing his mouth with jalebi, pakoras, and golgappas. He burns his tongue on spicy curry and starts yelling for water, making the Indian kids laugh, call him Mirchi Boy. This moment adds humor but also shows the warm culture welcome of India. The people enjoy his silly dance and cheer him up, despite him being different. As the opening ceremony reaches its peak, fireworks burst in the sky, creating a rain of colors. All teams bow respectfully. The announcer declares that the competition will begin from tomorrow morning, starting with elimination rounds. The Koskabe kids are nervous but also excited. But in the middle of all this excitement, the camera once again focuses on Buchan. He quietly slips away from the group for a moment, standing in the shadow of the stage, staring at the spicy dancers with a serious face, his voice almost whispering to himself, says so it really begins here. This single line plants doubt. Why does Wuchan seem unconnected? Why does he know something the other don't? The festival is full of joy, but in the background, a dark tension slowly builds. The next morning arrives in India with the sound of temple bells and the smell of freshly cooked parathas and masala chai spreading through the air. The Koskwe kids are staying in a modest guest house near the festival grounds. Misai tries to wake Sinchan up, But as always, he is wrapped in his blanket, mumbling nonsense about beautiful India dancers in his sleep. After a comical chase involving Hiroshi pulling him by the leg and Shinchan pretending to be too weak from too much curry, they finally get him ready. When they arrive at the festival arena, the atmosphere is electric. The audience seats are filled with cheering crowds, waving flags, holding colorful posters, and beating dhol drums in rhythm. The stage shines under bright lights, decorated with golden curtains and giant LED screens showing the names of groups. The announcer, wearing a sparkling sherwani, shouts in both Hindi and English. Welcome everyone to the great Kasukabe Dance Festival. Today begins the elimination round. Only the strongest, most creative, and most passionate dancers will survive. The first performance is by a group of local Bhangra dancers. Their energy is unstoppable. They jump, clap, and twirl, making the entire crowd roar with excitement. Shinchan is amazed and he copies their step from his seat, looking more like a wiggly worm than a dancer. Kazama gets nervous, muttering, We we cannot possibly compete with that level of skill. When it's finally Team Kasukabe's turn, they walk nervously onto the massive stage. The spotlight blinds them for a moment, and the crowd goes silent. Shin-chan, instead of being nervous, yells into mic, India, are you ready for my booty dance? And starts shaking his hips wildly. The audience burst into laughter. Misai almost faints out of embarrassment, while the kids desperately try to pull Shinchan back into formation. Their dance is a mix of random moves. Kojima tries serious steps, Mimi dodges cute poses, Masao just flaps around nervously, and Buchan stands strangely still, only moving when necessary. His eyes are not on audience, not even on his friends, but again on the spicy dancers who are watching silently from backstage. It almost feels like Buchan is checking something, calculating and waiting for the right moment. During the performance, Shinchan accidentally slips on stage, but instead of falling, he turns it into a funny swing, making the crowd cheer even louder. What looked like mistake becomes their saving grace. The judges nod, impressed by their unique energy, even if their technique is rough. After they finish, the audience claps enthusiastically. The announcer declares Team Kasukabe advances to the next round. The kids jump with joy, hugging each other. Shinchan proudly yells, See, my hips saved the day. But as everyone celebrates, the camera cuts to Buchan again. He's not smiling. Instead of he whispers under his breath, This is only the beginning. Soon they will know. The truth, his tone is so cold that even Kajama, who is standing next to him, feels a chill down his spine. The part ends with the camera showing spicy dancers preparing backstage. The leader looks directly at Buchan with a strange smirk, as if they share a secret. The screen fades to black, leaving the audience curious and uneasy. The night after the elimination round, Team Kasukabe is full of excitement. They cannot believe they actually advanced, and everyone praises Shinchan for saving the performance. Of course, Shinchan immediately brags, saying, "Yes, yes, I'm the Bollywood superstar now. Where my autograph pen?" And then signs random things like massage, shirt, the taxi driver's forehead. The next morning, the group decides to explore more of India before the next stage of the competition. They travel through crowded streets, buzzing with live shops, selling colorful saris, kids flying kites, and vendors calling out, "Chai, chai, garam chai." Sinchan, of course, stops at every single stall, demanding snacks. He stuffs his mouth with samosas, jalebis, and golgappas until his cheeks looks like two balloons. Misai yells, "Stop eating everything, you'll get sick." But Sinchan replies with his classic smug face, "But mom, this is called cultural research." Kazama is fascinated by the rich history of insist they visit a famous monument. The kids are showing marveling at a grand old fort with carving and arcs where a tour guide explains the centuries old history. Nini imagines herself as a queen dancing inside the palace, while Sinchan imagining himself as a belly dancer with jingling bells, causing everyone to laugh but also sweat nervously at his antics. But at, but amidst all the fun, something strange happens. Buchan keeps wandering away from the group. Why, while the others are busy shopping for trinkets or trying on turbans, Buchan is often seen staring at walls with old paintings or slipping into narrow alleyways as if searching for something. At one point, Kajama notices him talking quietly to a mysterious man in a turban. When Kajama calls out, Buchan quickly rejoins the group, pretending nothing happened. Later that day, they attend a street dance performance where local kids mix Kathak with modern hip hop. Sinchan immediately joins them, doing his wiggly dance again, earning claps and whistles. Nini gets jealous that Sinchan is getting all the attention, so she forces Masao to try. But Masao only ends up tripling and crying. Still, the moment is heartwarming, and the Indian crowd embraces the Kasukabe kids with cheers of Japan India friendship. But in the middle of this fun, the camera once again shifts to Buchan. He's not laughing. Instead, he takes out a folded piece of paper from his pocket. For just a second, the audience sees what's drawn on it. It looks like a symbol, if fiery in design, may be related to the spicy dancers. Wuchan quickly hides it before anyone notices. That night, back at the guest house, while everyone sleeps, Sinchan wakes up thirsty. As he goes to drink water, He spots Buchan quietly leaving the room. Curious, Shinchan follows him in his pajamas, tiptoeing continuously. He sees Buchan walking to the festival grounds under the moonlight. There, Buchan meets the leader of the spicy dancers again. The leader whispers something, and Buchan silently nods. Shinchan, hiding behind a cow, gasps loudly, almost blowing his cover. Cow moves, but luckily Buchan does not notice. Shinchan sneaks back to bed, muttering to himself, something fishy is cooking, and it's not curry. His silly line hides the serious tension for the audience because now the suspicion is confirmed. Wuchan really is hiding something big. The part ends with a shot of full moon over the Indian city, drums echoing faintly in the distance, hinting that the real mystery of the spicy dancers is just about to unfold. The sun rises over the festival grounds with music blasting from loudspeakers and colorful banners dancing in the wind. The announcers shouts, "Welcome to the second round of the Spicy Dance Festival." This round is tougher. The teams must not only dance but also fuse their performance with elements of Indian culture. That means Bollywood moves, classical touches, and even using props like scarves, dhol drums, or lamps. The Kasukabe group panics. Nini complains, "How can we do Bollywood style dancing with just kids from Kasukabe?" Kazama flips through a guidebook he bought, muttering, "We need discipline, precision, elegance." Masao just cries, "We are going to lose." And Sinchan? He strikes a ridiculous pose and shouts, "Don't worry, I have already mastered Bollywood," before shaking his hips and doing exaggerated slow motion moves like in Indian movies, making Misai and Hiroshi bury their face in embarrassment. The kids get a crash course from a local Indian dancer teacher arranged by the festival organizer. She teaches them basic hand gestures, footwork, and dramatic expressions. Sinchan, of course, keeps copying everything wrong. Instead of graceful mudras, he makes silly faces. And when asked to spin gracefully, he spins so much he crashes into Masao. But in his silliness, there is a strange charm. The teacher sighs, "Well, maybe that energy will work on stage." Meanwhile, Buchan grows quieter. He barely joins practice and often drifts away. At the point, Kazuma tries to confront him. "Buchan, what's wrong? You are hiding something, aren't you?" But Buchan just stares blankly and replies, "It's nothing." His dull voice makes the group uneasy, but then don't push further. The competition begins with dazzling performance from teams around the world. A group from Brazil mixes samba with Bollywood. A team from Korea fuses K-pop choreography with Indian folk beats. And even an Indian team performs a breathtaking classical dance with bright costumes and jewelry, drawing cheers from the crowd. When it's finally Kasugawa's turn, they are nervous. The music starts a fast mix of dhol beats and pop culture songs. Kazama tries to lead with perfect step. He adds dramatic expressions. Masao flails around nervously, and Shinchan suddenly takes center stage, improvising. He does over-the-top Bollywood hero moves, running in slow motion, pretending to chase an invisible heroine, and even lip-syncing to the background music. The crowd rose with laughter and applause. In a surprising twist, Shinchan pulls Buchan forward to dance too. At first, Buchan just stands still, but then, for a brief moment, he does a strange, powerful step, one that does not match with their choreography. The audience gasps because it looks eerily eerily similar to the secret style of the spicy dancers. The Kasukabe kids are confused but keep dancing, while Shinchan just yells, "Yay! Wuchan is finally spicy." They finish with Shinchan striking a dramatic Bollywood pose, holding a scarf in the air, wiggling his eyebrows. The crowd erupts into laughter and cheers. Against all odds, they pass into final round. Backstage, where things are not so cheerful, Kajama sweating whispers to Nini, "Did you see Buchan's move? That was not just normal." Nini nods. It's like he knew something about the enemy. Sinchan eating another plate of samosas adds, "Huh, maybe Buchan is secretly a spicy samosa spy." Everyone secretly, everyone tells him to shut up, but deep down they cannot shake off the feeling that Sinchan might not be entirely wrong. The part closes with Buchan standing alone in the shadow, clutching the mysterious paper with the fiery symbol again. The festival lights flickers in the distance, and faint drumming grows louder, signaling that the spicy dancers' true plan is drawing closer. After the second round, the Kasugabe group finally gets some time to relax. Hiroshi and Misai take them sightseeing in the city, hoping to distract them from nerves. They visit a bustling Indian market. They visit a bustling Indian market where stalls overflow with bright fabrics, glittering jewelries, and endless spices. Sinchan immediately runs to a spice vendor, sniffs a chili powder jar, and starts sneezing so violently that he knocks over the entire display, covering himself in red powder. The vendor shakes his head, but instead of being angry, he laughs and says, "This boy has the spirit of chili in him." The group also gets to see a majestic temple nearby. Nini is fascinated by the carving. Kazama instead insists on reading every historical signs, and Masao nervously worries about ghosts in temple halls. Shinchan, however, kneels dramatically in front of a statue and prays, "Dear God of India, please send me more curry and pretty dancers." Everyone drags him away, embarrassed again. But while the kids are laughing and exploring, Buchan lingers behind. He stares at one of the temple carving. It shows dancers performing around a blazing fire. His eyes widen, and for a moment It looks like he remembers something. His carving seems to match the same fiery symbol on the paper he carries. Kazama notices he is staring, but before he can ask, Buchan quickly hides the paper and mutters, "Just art." That night, the festival organizers host a cultural night where all teams are invited to share food, songs, and stories. It's a warm and joyful event. The Kasukabe kids join locals to taste different Indian dishes. Nini loves the sweets. Masao nearly cries after tasting extra spicy curry, and Sinchan puts on a mock cooking show with naan bread as if he is a chef, making everyone laugh. The Indian hosts explain how dance is not only entertainment but also a way to tell stories and pass traditions through generations. The kids begin to understand why this competition means so much. But then something strange happens. As the crowd enjoys the music, a group of masked performers suddenly appears, blending into the festival. They perform a mesmerizing fiery dance that hypnotize, hypnotize the audience. Their steps are sharp, intense, almost magical. Kazuma whispers, "Wait, that looks like style of Buchan. The dance stays." Buchan freezes. His eyes follow the dancers, almost as if he knows their every move. The leader of the mass dancers glances at him for a split second, and Buchan quickly looks away, sweating. Shinchan notices this and, in his usual mischievous tone, says, "Oof, Buchan is having a spicy love story with those dancers." But the other hand, don't laugh this time. They cannot see something is seriously wrong. After the performance, the masked dancers vanished into the night. Nobody knows where they went. The audience claps as if it were just part of the entertainment. The Kasukabe kids feels uneasy. Later, while everyone heads back to their hostel, Shinchan accidentally wanders out, chasing a stray cow that stole his snack. Yes, he was guiding a samosa in his pocket. While chasing it, he stumbles behind the stage area and overhears two masked figures whispering. They talk about how the final round will not only decide the champion, but also awaken the fire of Kasugawa's chosen one. Shinchan does not fully understand, but he hears them mention Wuchan's name. Shinchan gasps loudly, blowing his cover. The masked dancers chase him, and Shinchan escapes by distracting them with a random Bollywood style dance and hiding behind the cow. He rushes back to the group, painting, and blurts out, "Wonchan is Waiseki. They're after him." Kazama and Nini are shocked, but Wonchan stays silent, looking down at his feet. His quietness is scarier than words. The part ends with the camera panning over the festival grounds at night. The bright lights looks cheerful, but in the distance, fiery torches flickers in a hidden place where the spicy dancers are gathering for their true plan. The night after Shinchan overhears the masked figures, this Kasukabe group returns to their hotel. Everyone is supposed to be resting, but nobody can sleep. Nini keeps pacing back and forth, muttering, "What did they mean by awakening? And why did they say Buchan's name?" Kojima always The serious one take out his notebook and starts connecting the faces. The the fiery carving in the temple, Wu Chan's unusual dance style, the masked dancers' strange performance, and Shinchan's overheard conversation. Finally, Kazama looks at Wu Chan and says, "You are hiding something. We deserve to know." But Wuchan sits quietly, staring at the floor. His round cheek twitches a little, and his slow voice finally breaks the silence. I didn't I didn't want to drag you all into this. The kids lean to closer. Wuchan continues. My grandmother once told me about a secret dance that was passed down certain families. It was not just for entertainment, it had power, firepower. I don't believe her, but lately, when I dance, I feel something strange inside me, like the flames are alive. Everyone gasps. Even Shin-chan drops his snack in shock, which is rare. Buchan pulls out the folded paper he's been hiding. When he opens it, the kids see the same fiery symbol from the temple carving. It looks like a dancer surrounded by blazing fire. The spicy dancers want me, Buchan explains, his voice trembling, because they believe I can unlock something, some kind of fire ritual that only the chosen one can complete. Nini bites her nails nervously. Masao nearly faints. Kajama shakes his head and says, "This is way bigger than just a dance contest. They are using the festival as a cover." Before they can discuss further, a loud crash comes from outside. The kids rush to the hotel balcony and see chaos in the streets. The spicy dancers are attacking. They are no longer hiding behind masks of performers. They move swiftly, setting up fire tricks that looks almost supernatural. Sparks fly. People scream, and the once joyful city festival turns into panic. Hiroshi and Misai hurries to get Shinchan and his friends inside, but the spicy dancers send a warning. A huge fiery emblem appears in the sky, glowing bright red. It's the same symbol Buchan showed them. The message is clear. They are coming for him. Later that night, while everyone is gathered in one hotel room, tension grows. Kazama insists they need to tell the adults everything and maybe withdraw from the competition. "This is too dangerous," he says. But Shinchan, surprisingly serious for once, interrupts with his silly yet wise tone. "If we run now, Bushan will always be chased. He needs us, and we need him. Otherwise, it won't be the Kasukabe Defense Force anymore." His words actually inspired the others. Nini nods redundantly, and Masao gulps but agrees, and Buchan looks at Shinchan with tears in his eyes. You would really stand with me?" Shinchan grins and says, "Of course, but only if you promise to share your curry with me for life." Everyone face palms, but the mood lightens for a moment. The next morning, the festival organizers announced that the final round of the competition will take place in a grand outdoor stage set in front of a historic Indian palace. It's supposed to be the most spectacular performance yet. But the Kasukabe kids know this is exactly where the spicy dancer plan to start. The part ends with a powerful visual: the Kasukabe group holding hands, standing on the rooftop of their hotel, looking out at the palace where the final round will happen in the distance. The spicy dancers are already gathering. The torches glowing in the night like an army of fire. The stage is set for showdown that is far bigger than a dance contest. The morning of the final competition arrives, and India is buzzing with excitement. The streets leading to the palace are decorated with vibrant banners, strings of marigold flowers, and giant posters of the dance teams. Traditional music mixes with modern beats as people from across the city gather to watch what is promised to be the most exciting dance battle of the year. The Kasukabe group arrives with their parents and supporters, and the sight leaves them all speechless. The stage is massive, a huge platform built in front of the palace that glitters with golden lights. Colorful spotlights sweep across the sky, and cameras from different countries are set up, broadcasting the event live. Shinchan, of course, is more interested in the food stalls outside. Samosa, lassi, and spicy curry. If I eat all these before the dance, maybe I'll set fire to the stage myself, he jokes, stuffing his mouth. Misai scolds him as usual, but his carefree nature actually helps calm the others' nerves. Kazama, however, feels the weight of the situation. He whispers to the group, "Remember, the spicy dancers are going to make their move here. We cannot let them take Bucha." Bucha nods nervously, clutching the fiery symbol drawing in his pocket. Soon, the announcer steps onto the stage with a booming voice. "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the grand finale of the World Dance Carnival. The crowd cheers, drums rolls, and fireworks light up the sky. One by one, the finalists' teams perform their routines. There is a stunning group from Brazil with carnival costumes, an elegant ballet fusion from France, and a fierce hip hop crew from America. Each performance is breathtaking, mixing cultural pride with modern creativity. The Kasukabe kids watch in awe, but they know their turn is coming. Finally, the spotlight falls on the spicy dancer. They step onto the stage in dazzling red and gold outfits, their face half hidden behind glittering masks. At first, they perform a mesmerizing traditional meets modern dance that blends fat tricks with synchronized steps. The audience is amazed, laughing, cheering louder with each move. But then things starts to change. The fire tricks become bigger, wilder, and more dangerous. Instead of controlled sparks, flames shoot high into the air, nearly hitting the stage curtains. The crowd thinks it's part of the performance, but the Kasukabe kids know otherwise. Shinchan squints and whispers, "Oof, they're not dancing anymore. They're showing off their fire powers." Right in the middle of their performance, the spicy dancers form a circle, and the leader chants something strange. The fiery emblem appears again, glowing brighter than ever. Gas echoes across the audience as the sky above the palace seems to simmer with heat. The leader points directly at Bochan in the crowd. "Chosen one," the leader shouts, "join us and complete the fire ritual, or this festival will burn to ashes." The crowd laughs at first, thinking it's part of the act, but the fire keeps growing hotter, more real. People start to panic as sparks rain down. The announcer tries to calm the situation, but spicy dancers clearly aren't stopping. Shinchan and his friends leap into action. They climb onto the stage, shocking the audience, who think it's a surprise twist. Kazama shouts, "This is not a show." They are trying to capture Buchan. Then he grabbed Masao, who looks like he's about to faint, and they all form a protective circle around Buchan. The spicy dancers laugh wickedly. "Do you really think children can stop us?" The leader sneers, and but Shinchan strikes his usual silly pose and says, "Of course, we have defeated scarier things, like Mrs. Morning Face." The kids laugh nervously, but even in danger, Shinchan manages to make everyone smile for a moment. The part ends with a dramatic image. The palace glowing in golden light, bright and golden light. The spicy dancers surrounding the stage with their fiery aura, and the Kasukabe kids standing tall, ready to defend Buchan in front of the whole world. The real battle is about to begin. The air is electric. The palace stage is glowing with fire and lights, and everyone in the audience holds their breath, unsure if this is still part of the show or something much more dangerous. The spicy dancers tighten their circle, their fiery aura rising higher, casting shadows across the walls. The leader points dramatically at Buchan again. The fire chosen cannot hide. The festival's flames will awaken with his power. But Shinchan suddenly struts forward, wiggling his hips, sticking his tongue out. "If you want Wuchan, you have to dance through me first. And trust me, I have got moves that even fire can't handle." His ridiculous butt-shaking makes the audience burst and laughing, and for a moment the tension eases. Kazama quickly grabs the mic from the announcer's table. "Listen, everyone. This is not just a performance. The spicy dancers are trying to use dark fire energy to take Bhushan. We have to fight back, not with fear, but with dance and unity." The crowd gasps, realizing this is real, but they do not leave. Instead, they start cheering louder, showing support for the Kasukabe kids. The drum starts again, and Shinchan, Kajama, Nini, Masao, and Buchan line up. Their costumes are simple compared to the spicy dancers' fiery gold outfits, but they have something better: teamwork and heart. The music begins with a traditional tabla beat, blending into a funky, modern rhythm. Sinchan leads with his signature butt dance, but this time he's serious. Easy, silly moves is exaggerated and timed perfectly, making the audience clap along. Kazama follows with sharp hip hop steps. Nini spins gracefully like a ballerina. Masao trembles but manages a goofy robot dance. And Buchan, still nervous, stomps to the beat with unexpected power. The spicy dancers laugh at first. "This is childish." The leaders scoff, but then something strange happens. The fire aura flickers every time the Kasukabe kids dance in sync. The crowd's laughter, joy, and cheering seem to awaken the fiery spell. The leader realizes it's too late. No, their unity, their laughter, it's breaking the ritual. The spicy dancers turn up the heat, literally. Flames rises, forming dragon-like shapes above the stage. The ground shakes, and something decorations catch fire. Gasps fill the air as the danger becomes real. But Shinchan does not stop. He shouts, Buchan, this is your time. Dance with all your heart. Wuchan trembling steps forward. For the first time, he dances freely, stomping his feet, swinging his arms, and letting out his iconic slow voice. I am Wuchan. The audience roar in support. His moves, though clumsy, carry incredible emotions. The fiery emblem glowing in his pocket suddenly burst into golden light. Not fire, but pure warmth. The fire dragons above dissolve into harmless sparkles, raining down like golden confetti. The spice dancers stumble back, their fiery aura dimming. The leader growls, No, how can a bunch of kids defeat us? Shinchan grins, standing proudly next to his friends, because our friendship is hotter than your fire. The crowd erupts into cheers, clapping and chanting, Kasukabe, Kasukabe. The parents cry tears of pride. Misai faints dramatically, and even strangers in the audience dance along in support. The spicy dancers, realizing their defeat, bow their heads and vanish into the shadow, promising to return. The danger is gone, but the energy remains. The festival is saved, and the kids have won. The part ends with a breathtaking shot. The palace glowing against the night sky, fireworks exploding above, the Kasuga kids holding hands, bowing to the crowds as heroes.